The rain had teeth that night. It bit against the platform as Evelyn Cross ran, her soaked coat clinging to her like skin that didn't belong to her. The station was nearly empty, save for a single iron train that hissed in the fog, its blackened windows reflecting only the storm. She didn't remember buying a ticket, yet one was clutched in her hand, its paper wet but unblurred. The midnight line, one way. The conductor at the door smiled, his face pale and too still. "Evening, Miss Cross. You're just in time." "How did you?" But the whistle drowned her words. She stepped inside. The door sealed behind her with a sound like a sigh. Inside, the air was wrong. Thick, it smelled faintly of old perfume, rust and candle wax. Every seat was occupied, yet no one looked alive. Faces stared forward, drained of color, eyes gleaming faintly in the dim amber lights that flickered as the train began to move. Evelyn took a seat near the aisle. The windows outside showed no landscape, only endless dark punctuated by flashes of red lightning. Across from her, a man in a tattered suit smiled. "First time riding," she hesitated. "What kind of train is this?" "Depends where you boarded from." "And where it's going?" He chuckled softly. "Nowhere you can step off, miss. Not yet." His hand rested on a briefcase that rattled faintly, as if something inside was trying to get out. Evelyn turned away, her pulse hammering. At the far end of the car, an old woman hummed softly, her eyes milky white. Her knitting needles clicked rhythmically, the red yarn trailing across the floor like veins. A whisper cut through the sound of the wheels. "Don't look at her knitting," someone murmured from behind. Evelyn turned. A young girl sat 2 seats back, her hair in curls, her dress decades out of fashion. "She's knitting our names," the girl said. "When she finishes, you stop existing." Evelyn blinked. "You mean she's dead?" The girl smiled faintly. "All of us are, sort of." Outside, thunder rumbled like laughter. The train was speeding through a void where lightning forked upward, not down. "Why am I here?" Evelyn whispered. "Same reason as the rest," the girl said. "You got lost between breaths," Evelyn frowned. "Between what?" "Between dying and realizing you did." A deep chill ran through her. The faces of the passengers blurred for a moment, flickering like film caught in a projector. Then the lights dimmed, the loudspeaker crackled. "Next stop, Crossmoor Junction, Witches Crossing. Prepare your offerings," the man with the briefcase hissed under his breath. The old woman's knitting stopped, and for the first time, Evelyn noticed the runes carved into the train walls, faint, ancient symbols pulsing with ember light. This was no ordinary train. It was a border. The train slowed. Outside, she saw silhouettes gathering, cloaked figures with eyes like burning coals. They walked along the track, whispering in tongues that made the air taste like iron. The doors opened. A wind swept through the car. Every candle flickered blue. A woman stepped in. She wore a black veil and moved like smoke. "Travelers," she said, her voice lilting, calm. "Your souls are heavy with regret. We can lift the burden for a price." Passengers began to tremble. Coins, jewelry, even teeth appeared in trembling hands. The veiled woman smiled as she collected them in a velvet pouch that seemed to drink the light. When she reached Evelyn, she stopped. "You don't belong here yet." Evelyn swallowed. "Then let me go." The witch's lips curled. "I can't. The demons already smelled you." The witch left, and the train lurched forward again. Evelyn tried to steady herself, but the girl's seat was empty now. Only her doll remained, face cracked, staring up. Kenji, no, she thought. That was someone else, a memory that didn't belong. She pressed her palms against her temples. Her thoughts felt rewritten. The man with the briefcase leaned closer. "They're fighting over us, you know. The witches want to harvest what's left of our souls. The demons, they want to keep us burning." Burning, he opened the case. Inside was a heart, black, still beating. "It's mine," he said. "They didn't take it all." Evelyn stumbled away. The walls pulsed faintly as if the train itself had veins. She found the next car nearly empty except for a priest sitting alone beneath a flickering bulb. His collar was torn, his hands shaking as he sipped from a flask. "Father," she whispered. He looked up, eyes sunken and bloodshot. "We were supposed to protect the souls. Instead, we boarded this train with them. What is this place?" "The last train to darkness," he said, voice trembling. "A crossing between worlds. The living who step aboard can't tell they've left the light." He reached into his coat and handed her a rusted key. "There's a door at the end of the train. It leads to the conductor's car. Only he can decide who reaches the final station." A distant roar echoed through the cars, something scraping along the metal roof. The lights went out. When they returned, the priest was gone. Only his flask remained, warm to the touch. Evelyn clutched the key and hurried down the corridor. Each car was stranger than the last. One filled with mirrors, all reflecting her at different ages. Another filled with passengers frozen mid-scream. At the final door, the air stank of sulfur. The sign read, "Engine room authorized only." The key fit perfectly. The lock clicked. Inside, shadows danced in crimson light. The conductor stood at the controls, his back to her. "You shouldn't have come here, Miss Cross," he said without turning. "Why? What is this?" "The in-between," he said. "A place built to hold the lost. But it's breaking down. They're coming through." As he turned, Evelyn saw his eyes molten red, like coals. "The witches," she whispered. He smiled. "Worse, the ones that made them." The train shook violently. Windows shattered. Screams echoed as black smoke poured in, forming clawed shapes. The conductor spread his arms. "You brought this on yourself. You boarded without dying. What does that mean?" "You were meant to die tonight in the storm, but fate hesitated, so the door between opened." The smoke solidified into faces, screaming, burning. Evelyn felt herself being pulled backward, gravity dissolving. "Take my hand," the conductor shouted, his voice now demonic, layered. She hesitated, and in that pause she saw her reflection in the glass. Her own eyes glowed faintly red. Memories surged, not of her life, but others. Faces, fires, altars. The witch from earlier smiling as she said, "The demons already smelled you." Realization struck like lightning. She wasn't a passenger, she was bait. The witches had lured her aboard, the only living soul among the dead, to draw the demons out, and now both sides wanted her. The train screamed through the void, splitting into two versions of itself, one bathed in light, the other in black fire. Evelyn stood between them, her body flickering like a dying candle. "Choose," the conductor growled. "Serve the fire or feed it." She reached for the switch beside him and pulled it down. The train derailed into eternity. Light and shadow tore apart, and for one impossible moment, Evelyn saw both worlds, the realm of the witches bathed in moonlight, and the infernal expanse of the demons burning beneath it. She fell between them, screaming. When she awoke, she was standing on a quiet platform beneath a gray sky. A new train approached, gleaming silver, modern, silent. A man stepped off, smiling kindly. "Evening, Miss Cross. You're just in time." She looked down. Her hand held another ticket, the midnight line, one way. The whistle blew, and the world ended. Again.